Hey guys, how's it going? We're starting our CGI Sundays, the rebranded version of Office Hours. And soon enough, our guest's gonna be in. More people might join us. Let's see how it's gonna be. And I'm excited to host this session today. All right, so I'm still finishing and organizing a few things here. Um, Soon enough, we're gonna have everybody in and we're gonna kick it off. All right.
Hello.
Hi, Imre.
Good, good.
Imre,
Thank you.
how's it going, buddy?
I'm good, thank you.
You have your
And
camera off.
yes, that's what I checked. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go. Guys, I met Imre a while ago, last year, and we've both been investigating how to mix Houdini with ComfyUI. I've seen quite a few different things from Imre that was very exciting, and he's been one of the most active users for our community. So I'm very happy to host him and open up the space for him to share a little bit of his work. Imre, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Maybe talk a little bit about what you work, what you do for your life.
Of course, yes. Yeah, so first of all, thank you for the invitation. And yeah, I'm Imre, currently living in Hungary, in Budapest, and I graduated as IT engineer long time ago. And after I turned towards the VFX industry, and I've been working in the industry for 16 years now. Uh, At the very beginning, I started as a rigger and a generalist, mostly worked in Maya. And after I switched to Houdini, and yeah, since then I'm working as an FX mostly in Houdini. And yeah, I had opportunity to work at Weta FX for almost 6 years, and 3 years was on site in New Zealand, and 3 years in remote from Budapest. Uh, I also worked at MPC for 1.5 year, and also I have a little game cinematic experience. Also, I worked for Digital Pictures for almost 2 years. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is my past, and I s- I've met with generative AI around 2 or 3 years ago, and I wasn't a big fan of it at the beginning, and I still didn't decide that I'm a fan or not. But I know I have to recognize that this is the future for not just in VFX, but in the everyday life also. I think it will shape our life. And I try to study and combine it with the current VFX workflow. And ComfyUI was a very good tool of it because it is very similar to Houdini. And we can work almost in a procedural way, what is very similar in Houdini. And yeah, since I found it, I tried to combine this generative AI technology with the VFX workflow in the most efficient way. And yeah, I had some early tests, and I don't know, I don't have the setups now, but I can share it if you are interested. I have videos about it, and this.
Yeah, I would love to check this out.
Okay, okay. So let me
All
share
right,
the screen.
so you said you worked on some game cinematics and now you're transitioning to experimenting with AI. I found it very interesting you commented that you also wasn't a big fan at the beginning, but now you decided to study. Is
Yeah,
there anything specific that made you change your mind when you do you have a turning point that was like, oh, now I need to take a look on that?
a turning point was me when I found ComfyUI, because when I just saw that everyone is generating sorry, but bullshit videos on TikTok and Instagram, I didn't like it at all. But when I saw that we have a little control what we are generating, and we can uh, art direct it, then I recognize that it can help to make our workflow more efficient. And yeah, so I think the turning point was when I found ComfyUI. And to be honest, I didn't mm, used any other tool, for example, Midjourney or Kling, but I know they are exist. But mostly I focused on this part of the generative AI.
Interesting. And it's interesting. It's very interesting for me that your control is a very important topic for you, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's definitely similar to how I saw things, right? Mid-Journey, I definitely tried it when it came out with the Discord thing. I
Hmm.
couldn't go much far on it, and also didn't pique my interest, right?
Hmm.
It just
Yeah.
kind of wasn't something that I wanted to try, but I saw it was interesting.
Hmm.
Uh, but at the same time, when I met ComfyUI or I met, oh, okay, now there is a way to control, there is a way that we can
Hmm.
choose the model and the node workflow I can definitely relate to starting and seeing ComfyUI as a turning point for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
That's so
I was
interesting.
yes, and I was very happy when I found your plugin, and so then we could connect it the ComfyUI with Houdini, and yeah, it makes it more efficient, I think. So it is a very good tool what
Uh,
you found out.
I'm glad you're having a good time experimenting with our tool set.
Hmm.
Um, I'll say that it's very interesting. When I started this part, I was also looking as a render engine
Hmm.
for
Yes.
ComfyUI. But some of the examples I've been seeing is like, oh, Image-to-3D with
Hmm.
Trellis, which is like Microsoft based. So,
Yes.
and it also has a somewhat of an interesting license to work with. I need to take a look on that better.
Hmm.
But how you feel about those Image-to-3D softwares or like applications? Do
Um,
you see a
uh,
space for them in the productions? How do you feel that about that?
it's a good question because I think. It can help a lot if we need some customized to if we have to generate some customized scenes and for example characters and it might be for look dev or previs we can easily generate scenes and for example with the combination of Unreal or and Houdini then we can make easily a complex scenes. We can turn a complex scenes into I don't know very good quality previs or look dev. And after, in top of that, it will help to us to generate higher quality renders also. So I think the 3D generation part is it's still not hero quality. So I think we can generate models, for example, for midground or background, and it might be for games already. It would work. But for example, for the close-ups, I think we still need the modelers and the sculptors who are making the final details. But as a base mesh, I think it is already works.
Interesting. I definitely relate to that. I don't think for hero objects we'll never move
Hmm.
away
Yeah.
from our sculptors, and I think humans will always be there. And
Hmm.
even for this low poly or like BG,
Hmm.
MG
Yes.
assets, I agree with you in the sense of maybe we can just generate them faster. One thing that I've been
Yes.
thinking a lot is that for let's say if we want to clean up the pipeline, right? We want to be able to generate things that we can be used in production, or maybe that we want to be able to hold IP, right? So
Hmm.
if we use clean models, or if we actually have an illustrator on a project, and that illustrator create a new concept that we can copyright, and then we
Hmm.
can use tools that are licensed correctly, like Trellis, for generating the 3D asset, then we have a clean pipeline to move forward and still hold up IP,
Yes.
which is
Yes.
very powerful.
Hmm.
So I absolutely love the topic of image to 3D.
Hmm.
And later, I also have some, I don't have any image to 3D, but I do want to jump into some Gaussians after we, later on the talk.
Hmm. Of course.
Um, so it's got, yeah, I got some stuff that I want to try and show you as well.
Hmm. Okay.
So you mentioned that you actually have a couple tests you would like to show us.
Hmm.
So maybe you want to jump into that?
Yeah, of course. First, I can show my early tests. It was before the plugin and when I found ComfyUI, and I can show that latest demo what I uploaded this week and how I approached this task, and yeah, I can show the workflow and setup of it.
All right, that's pretty sweet. Let's jump into that.
Okay.
I think we need to ask to share. I'm gonna allow it here,
Yeah.
and then you can click on the share button one more time.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is the.
Oh,
This
wait,
will
wait,
be
wait, wait.
this.
Oh, okay. We can see your screen now. Fun.
Okay. So this will be the screen, but first I would like to. Yeah, this is uploaded on my website, and this was my.
Whoa.
Yeah, I uploaded my early projects and my experience with Comfy also. Currently, these are mostly just uploaded videos, but this was my very first test when as an FXTD, I tried to generate something looks FX. Of course, it not looks good, but it looks interesting. And this was the that time when we could generate more consistent images, but we still can see that it's still flickering. But yeah, this was with I think IP adapter and it's here and AnimateDiff.
Animate diffusion.
Yes, yes.
Great.
And uh, here I wrote a little um, article how I used Houdini and ComfyUI together. And here I created this scene after I wrote a little tool to create the ControlNet layers. And I feed these masks or yeah, ControlNet layers into the ComfyUI setup. And it was also very early test. It's still flickering and not so consistent, but I found it very interesting. And after the first tests, I think with your tool is, I think this was also used with tool. So when I found your tool, then I started to combine Houdini more with ComfyUI. And here I used my son's toy as a reference image. I created a simple test scene uh, where we see the motion. I generated the control net based on the test scene, and I tried to copy the style and everything into the generated video from my son's toy. So this was the end result. And yeah,
When I saw this test, I was very impressed.
mhm,
A few things that got my attention is that how not even if the control net of the pose detection fails, it
mhm.
doesn't affect that much the generation. That was the first thing that really surprised me.
I
Uh,
actually that's why I choose this animation because it is a bit complex. So the AI has to decide what arms and legs closer to the camera, and we can. I think we can really. We have a good control about what. Yeah, yeah. We can good control about these movements. And it's still flickering. We can see the skeleton is still flickering, but the other layer of the control net can keep it consistent.
that is so cool. And the reflections,
Ah,
the
yeah,
fact
yeah.
that they
Mhm.
are consistent, that blew my mind when I saw this test. So
I was also surprised that when I saw that we have reflection and it looked, yeah, it looked promising.
yeah, it's very interesting how these AI models and video models, they have so much information on them, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting as we kind of play with them, we kind of see, oh, okay, they might be useful for this or that, it's interesting how there's a
Mhm.
lot in there.
Ah, yeah, yes. And basically, we just use this simple animation as one reference image, and we had control about the look and everything, and we can easily create these short videos. For example, if we need to show a proof of concept or look dev, we can already use it in for example, in production also.
Interesting. Even before having anything done in 3D. from a simple sketch or a reference image,
Mhm.
boom,
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
already see the character there walking and performing.
yeah, exactly.
So cool. So cool.
So I tried to move forward, and after I created this part, this is now when I used Hunyuan for the first time, and here I still couldn't solve it inside Houdini. I think it still didn't work. So the mesh generation was in the portable version of ComfyUI. And these are, we have a simple ControlNet. It's an OpenPose ControlNet. It was, I had some prompts to generate a concept of robots. And after I imported these models into Houdini, I had, of course, the topology of the geometries are very messy. So I had to retopologize it a bit. These are the generated textures, and I rendered it in Houdini. I imported the uh, caches from ComfyUI into Houdini. I rendered it, and after I used a simple rig on it and applied retargeted uh, mocap animation from Mixamo on the character. And we can easily create simple crowds of this setup. And this is the base setup, what I will show today. But I could solve it completely inside Houdini now with Trellis too.
Ah, okay. So you're moving away from the Hunyuan model and now
Mm.
using Trellis from Microsoft. That's so
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, exactly.
Um, all right. So on this example, we have the mesh done in 3D, the concept also done with Gen AI. The
Mhm.
mesh is Gen AI, and then we jump into Houdini to do the rigging, to do the what else? To do the
Retard.
harmonics of the binding of the mesh and the
Mhm.
skeleton and
Yeah,
rendering it. That's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, and it works. So we can easily use it in mid and background crowds. So it would work in production also.
Absolutely.
And I would jump on the latest setup if you don't mind, or I don't know
Yeah,
if
let's
you.
go for it. Maybe you want to show a video of it first. You created a video.
Okay. Uh, I didn't upload it yet, but it should be here. Okay.
Oh, and we have a guest now, Maitland. Thank you so much for joining us, Maitland. Let's go. All right, I see what you mean. And I appreciate the background. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah, I found it from your first presentation, and yeah, now we have this official logo of the plugin, so I just put it there. So the
Thank
idea,
you.
yeah.
And I can see there's some metallic there, right? Did you do any estimation of the maps? Maybe I'm already jumping ahead, but I'm just curious how it looks metallic in some areas and it doesn't in other areas.
I was also surprised that it looked like this because I just used the base color texture what generated from ComfyUI. I applied it on the mesh and I uh, I just increased the metallic part of the shader and it looks like this with a simple light. So I didn't tweak too much on the shaders and the texture.
So cool. And maybe let's jump into it. That's pretty cool. Let's find out how you that became.
Okay.
Maybe you want to talk a little about how. No, go ahead. Maybe I'm just gonna suggest that if you want to share how you installed Trellis as well, because I think
Oh,
that folks might find it interesting.
yeah, it's a it was the trickiest part, I think. So I can start from there because it is also important part. So first, maybe I would start this channel. It's Art Official Labs, and here I found a way to insert ComfyUI, Triton, and Sage Attention. This part is not installed currently, but this is also important if you would like to generate video model, if you want to use video models. But this approach, I think it's very useful to create a base ComfyUI on your local machine, and how it also shows how to install the packages and set the virtual environment. So I think it's very useful, and since I found this video, I'm installing my ComfyUI this way. And after this video, I found Pixel Artist channel, which is somewhere here, but I don't see it from the Zoom menu. Okay, yes, it's here. This is the latest video with Trellis, I think. In this video, we already have this ultra shape component, which helps to save memory for us, but currently I'm using without this ultra shape, so it is 1 minute. I don't see the video. Ah, yes, it's here. I just followed this video how to install Trellis, and here also we have a PDF and description what we have to follow. I think one of the most important tool is your CUDA toolkit, what you have installed on your machine. Currently, I'm using 1.28 for Trellis 2. And also important what version of PyTorch you are using before you install Trellis. And for this version, I used 2.7 PyTorch with 1.28 CUDA toolkit, and this was the magic combination to make it work. And yeah, I followed his description how to install the wheels and everything else what we need for make it work. So if we follow this video, we can make it work in ComfyUI, but I still had to make modification in the Houdini bridge code, which was helped to create it by Gemini. And I don't know if I go in more details in the code, or we can also check it in the Discord channel. I don't know.
Yeah, about that, so Anatoly is taking a look at that. So we already have a new version that
Mhm.
addresses some of that. So I think we can just skip it. But that's
Okay.
a very good point. Basically, um, we found a few different things that needed to be in our code for this to be actually downloaded. I might be
Mhm.
saying something wrong. If you guys want to get the right information, we have on our Discord.
Mhm.
But now we already have a new version that we are like a new beta version that we're tweaking that,
Mhm.
and we're gonna have that fix for Trellis very soon.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I found these two videos, I think, very helpful and to install Trellis, and we can make it work if we just follow them. And after when it
Yeah.
worked, yeah, yeah, I can show that I downloaded the basic setups from Pixel Artistry, where we have some nice base setups for Trellis. And on the Discord channel of Pixel Artistry, I found this setup, uh, which I tried to move this setup into Houdini. So this is the result of the first tests. And I just separated into different parts. So the first part was this part where we create the mesh. I exported in a different JSON. I imported to Houdini. After I has extracted this part, the refiner, and in this part we had that problem what I mentioned in the Discord channel. And after in the third part, I just imported the texture generation part, and luckily it worked for the first time.
Ah. And that's I really love the methodology you're showing here, right? You
Hmm.
make things work in ComfyUI first, and then
Hmm.
once you
Yes.
kind of know all have the pieces, then you're jumping to Houdini. I
Yeah.
find that's a very, very powerful way of like avoiding mistakes. It's very hard when you have to troubleshoot both things, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Because if I just moved, I also tried to move the whole graph into uh, Houdini, and I had a bunch of errors, and I didn't know where to start debugging. So that's why I started to separate it more smaller blocks. And yeah, here I could filter that this is the problematic part, what we mentioned. And yeah, we already found solution for it. So I think it will work soon also in default in Houdini also.
Fun. And the texture it gives us is only one single tile. It's just like a base color texture, right?
It is a base color texture, and here there is a metallic roughness texture,
Ah,
but I don't really, I think something still not works here. And if you would like to convert, for example, a uh, normal map simple, I think this one. If we connect this to the base color, it will generate the normal map also. So we can
ah.
generate normal map mm, very easy in a
And that's
very
from
easy
the
way.
image filters custom node pack. I see there.
Yeah,
Fantastic. That's so cool, Imre. Thank you so much for
you're
explaining
welcome.
all of that.
Yeah, so this was the very first step to test it in Comfy, and then I was thinking if we would like to create a character from scratch in Houdini, for example, then first we need a pause. Because many times, and if you would like to read the character, it is important to make it in T pose or A pose or something like that. So I just use the default character from Houdini,
Oh, you got
and
auto.
yeah. I also tried with the selector, but yeah, so we can choose what we would like because what type of character we would like to generate. Both of them are works very fine. Maybe for Electra we already have um, assigned skin for the character, so we have this bone capture attribute. For Auto, we have to assign the skin first, and after we can change the pose. So yeah, that is what I found the main difference between these two characters, but both of them works. And this would be our ControlNet shape, what we would like to follow. And after when we have, I just rendered a simple frame of it, and that's it. After I started to use Trellis, and I also generated the concept part here. Here I have a older setup. I used it. I don't know old. It's funny to say it's old, but I think it's a 1 year old setup. But yeah, I'm using an IP adapter, a ControlNet, and an SDXL models. So I think the Flux and Quen models are more advanced, but I still not tested it in this model because it works perfectly for now. Currently, I'm not using IP adapter, but I'm using the ControlNet pose, which is this, what we checked before.
The
And
proportions.
yes, yes. And here I just combine, this is the base setup to combine the layers for the ControlNet. And here I have the OpenPose part. And for example, here I switch the depth, but we can change what we need for our character. We can check it in preview. This is the OpenPose part, and this is the version when we merge it together. And I just feed it into the sampler. And now this will be my next mm, project, or I don't know. But yeah, I tried something looks like a Kung Fu Panda, but I don't know, stylized version. And this is what generated for the for the first time. So I think it's very good quality. These are for the concepts. And yeah, if we have a version what we like, then we can upscale it here also.
And you're upscaling from what to what? Like from 1,000 to
Uh,
2K, 4K? Is that what you're doing?
yes, it's. I think it's a 4K. Yeah,
Ah, fun.
yeah, yeah.
And for the
Uh,
upscaler, what upscaler are you using there just for the curiosity? So you have it's the local, it's the one from ComfyUI itself.
yeah, I didn't spend too much time with the upscale. I just what I found in default now that is what I'm using. But I'm sure there are better solutions for this. Now I just use the default one.
I see. All right.
Okay, when we have the concept, what we like, after the background removal part is happening because we have to feed the image with alpha without background. So this is the image, and yeah, we can generate what we need. And after I went to the mesh generation part, which happens here. And this is now the terminator. So this part is now the tests in what I showed earlier. So it will be the robot model what I generated.
All right,
Here,
let's dive into it.
yeah, here basically we can see the same, almost the same models what we see here in the Comfy part. Here I didn't use these continue nodes. It didn't recognize it well, and we don't really need it. Uh, Here I just use the file node to load the reference and referencing to the Trellis model. And maybe what I found, it might be it will be solved with the latest update. But what I found, it's with the exact same values and seed, sometimes it generate different models. So I think it will be solved in a short time. But currently, this is what I generated now with these settings, and this is what I generated about 2 or 3 days ago. It is very similar, but not the same. So
What do you think it improved from one generation to the other?
mm,
What do you think are the differences between them? You think one is better than the other?
uh, no, I mean, I'm just I don't really understand why it is happening because it is with the same seed, same values, but it generated different models. So yeah, it is a bit strange for now. But yeah, Natalie also mentioned that it still can happen. Hopefully with the updated version of the plugin. And if I also update my Trellis to the latest release, then it will be also solved.
Ah. Imre, we have someone on the chat asking for you to get closer to the mesh and maybe enable
Ah,
the
yeah,
what is
the
the name?
wire.
The wires, so we can kind of take a look how it is.
I can show it's a mess. So, but I can show it. 1 minute. Yeah, it's a triangulated mesh currently.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and that's why, for example, if we use just this part, I tried to rig this part also, but it didn't work. I couldn't bind the skeleton to the skin. It didn't recognize well. So that's why we have this trellis mesh refine part where AI tries to generate a more clean geometry. It will be still messy, but better than this part. And this is the part where we had the issue also. Here we have this mesh refiner. It tries to fill the holes of the geometry, tries to retopologize it a bit, and also merge the over. It's try to merge the vertices. It's like a fuse in Houdini. So if we run this part, we will have a cleaner mesh. Here also the input is the reference, the trellis mesh, and yeah, I also imported this mesh fix where we can see, hopefully you can see it. We have some options to make the geometry more clean.
Like remove small components,
Yes,
join.
yeah.
It's very interesting that we are seeing like a lot of solutions. For example, we have a is delete small pieces in Houdini, right? Like that's one of
Mhm,
the
yes.
tools.
Hmm.
Interesting that you see now some of those functionalities also part of ComfyUI. That's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of surprising.
Yeah, yeah. I was also surprised when I saw this setup. And after we have this model, if we look the model as a wireframe, it's still messy, but we have a lot of components what we don't need over something. Yeah, so if it is much cleaner than the previous model, but we
Got
don't
it.
really see it. So after we can move forward to the texture generating part where it generates the UV and the texture also, which looks like uh, this. It's still not so not yeah, not so pretty, but it it works, so it can be more cleaner also. And yeah, this is the trellis part, what we can see.
And Imre, let me ask you something to you. As a ComfyUI user, one of the cool things that I like about using Houdini is like separating the chunks.
Mhm,
Like you have the mesh generator separates from the mesh refine, from the texturing. You have any
mhm.
opinion about that? Or how you feel about using Comfy or using Houdini or this ability of splitting the workflows in different chunks? You have any opinion about that?
Uh, I I think, for example, if we are debugging, then it is better to separate it in smaller chunks because, yeah, every time we we can run some issue and easier to debug if we have, for example, separate modules for some main part. Um, yeah, in Houdini is,
Ah, okay.
yeah, so. Yeah, usually in Houdini also I build my setups this way. So if I have a main component, I try to work it as a module, and after I combine these modules together, and it gives us a working system at the end.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Uh, yeah, so this was the trellis generating part. I also have a Hunyuan setup. Mm, for me, it looked the trellis more accurate. So instead, although we can see the topology is a mess, also the UV is not so pretty, but the mesh, what we are generating, looked more accurate than Hunyuan for me, at least. It might be in the next month, Hunyuan will be more accurate. So it is improving so much in just 1 month or 1 week. So yeah, when we had this base model, for the first time, I just checked the mesh and tried to make something prettier. So with
Look at
QuadriMesh,
that.
yeah, with QuadriMesh, we can topologize it like quads. It's still not so pretty, but looks much better. Mm, and yeah, and I transferred the UV from the exported mesh to this retopologized mesh, and in the end, you can see this. This was the first model, what I generated, and on the left, we can see just the photo, what was the source of the generated mesh. Mhm. Okay. And after when we had this part, I started the rig. Uh, I started my career as a rigger and generalist, but it was in Maya. So I had to update my knowledge in rigging in Houdini. And for this, for example, I used this masterclass for Apex rigs in Houdini. It is very useful. And for example, the knowledge to build a base FK rig, I just used it from here. So my rig is based on this video. And here we have a base mesh for the legs, which is adjusted to the exported model.
Ah, okay. We got Maitland on the chat also mentioning that he's also everybody's looking at KinFX and updating the way
Mhm.
they do the rigs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
like KinFX. I had good experiences in production with it.
mhm. Yeah, but it is a totally different thinking, like you are rigging in Maya, for example. Yes, it's totally different knowledge in Houdini and approach mm, of building a setup. But it's very interesting and exciting also. So yeah, these are the base of our rig. Simple FK rig. So I didn't use any IK solutions. And with here I didn't use quads for the mesh, but I remeshed our geometry. So it looks like this. We have triangles now. And here I bind the skin to the skeleton and oh, I adjusted some skin weights here because it didn't generate it correctly. Of course, it's still not correct, but we can tweak as we want. So here it is customized weight set up for the geometry. And after we have this very
Look at
base rig.
that.
We can,
Ooh.
of course, we can play a lot with the weights, skin weights also, but this is a basic setup for the rig. After I cached it, and we can start to retarget it. I just found in Mixamo and I think in Rococo there are some very good free uh, FB animation that we can download. These are in FBX format. So now I choose this dance and here I just generated a T-pose, which is matching with our character. And here I blend this T-pose. Okay. So here we can see after the T-pose, I blend this movement to the downloaded FBX animation. So it will start dancing more smoothly. We won't see some uh, legs. Yeah, we don't see some lagging parts in the animation. After when we have this part, then we apply the source animation to the target skeleton. So it will, yeah. So now we assigned it. Here,
Map the points.
yes, we can map the points. Uh,
And we are mapping they both are your skeletons, right?
no, this one, the blue one is for the downloaded version.
Okay,
The purple is what I did.
got it.
So yeah, now and we if we have the um, mapping, then we can see that the downloaded animation is driving our skeleton. And of course, we can work a lot in the retargeting part, but this is now to show the example that it works. And here I created an agent layer. So if we create this agent part of the setup, then we can source it for example, in a Houdini crowd. So I created an agent from this geo and the assigned animation, convert it to agent clip. Here we can test it that it works, it is dancing. And if we have this part, then we can easily feed it into a crowd source and yeah, they are dancing. Uh, yeah. It might be I will make a more detailed version for the crowd also, but this is just now to show how easily we can use the generated geometry in a simple crowd. And after I just put it in a loop network and create, opa, I just created this render scene where we are using our geometry with the karma shaders.
How was your car? What is your karma setup? Could you show that a little bit for us?
Yes, it's very simple.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We
So,
have Maitland commenting that he didn't know map points. I absolutely love that part of KinFX of retargeting. I have
yeah.
so much fun,
hmm
especially like I have a chance a few times a year to teach the animation students
hmm
some Houdini, and I always go over some retargeting, and it's so fantastic
hmm
how few nodes you need to actually get a good retarget. Like
Yes, yes, yes.
it's very handy.
It is, and it is good to see that usually first, I just assign the hip joint to see if it works or not, because the hip joint moves the whole body. And yeah, after I start to assign the arms and legs, and we can see how it applies the movement to the target skeleton, and it's fun to see.
All right.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
and
So
the shader. So it's a simple surface
okay.
shader. I didn't tweak too much. I just increased the metalness, maybe the coat, And I just animated the opacity because here I switch it from the static one to the animated one, so nothing special in the shader. And I'm using the generated texture from Comfy. So yeah, I
Wow.
just nothing special in the shader settings.
Okay, thanks for showing that to us. And then you're bringing in as a SOP.
Hmm.
You use the scene import to bring with the textures already, and or oh no, you apply the texture in the material label. Sorry.
Hmm. Yes, yes.
Let's go. That's so cool, Imre. Like, thank you so much for showing all of that and showing like how you're going from your concept to
Hmm.
your generation of the mesh with
Hmm.
Trellis, and then going over all the way to rigging and animation in Houdini.
Hmm.
It feels like a very powerful pipeline. So
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see your Panda model. I believe that and that's kind of a lead away for my next question. Like, what
Mhm.
is next for you now that you have this set up in shape?
Yeah, it's. I'm also thinking about it because the Panda model I already started. It is a bit more difficult because we need much better skin weights to work better like this robot. Because yeah, there are the clothes part and the original skin weights are not so good, so I have to uh, paint it myself. And also would like to set up a fight scene, for example, in crowd, and it is a bit more challenging. But yeah, let's
Lovely.
we will see what will be the end result.
One thing that came to my mind is that you can definitely leverage like a Quen model
Mhm.
um, to isolate the character from the clothing.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
it's a
you
good
can kind of
idea.
have like a naked panda, and then you
Mhm.
just isolate the body armor, and then try to run. So you can have like all these different pieces. That would be
Ah,
so
yeah,
cool to see happening.
yeah, because currently it is it's still a missing part that the segmentation. So everything is one mesh. So it is a bit more difficult to create the segmentation of the clothes or the I don't know the custom tools. For example, for example here the this gun is also just one mesh with the main body. So yeah, I think it is a good idea what you mentioned to generate somehow separately and attach it to the model, for example, in Houdini later.
Cool. All right. So it's very exciting to know where you're going with this, like a fight
Mhm.
scene in the crowds.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the idea. I don't
It is
know.
ideas.
Yeah.
That's how everything starts.
Mhm. Yeah.
So wow.
And maybe also test it in Unreal, but yeah, it's for the future.
Have you by any chance tried the USD exporter on Unreal?
Not yet. No,
Not yet. I did once.
mhm.
It did work, but I haven't tried with more complex workflows. That's why I'm
Mhm.
asking.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
we
yeah.
got someone asking for a breakdancing bar fight with your robot.
Oh yeah, it would be interesting, yes. It's a good idea. No, it will be first. It will be just a simple fighting scene, and after, yeah, we can see how can make it more complex.
Fun. Yeah, I'm very interested now in how we could make a pipeline that looks at a model, uh, breaks down in different images, and then we have a PDG setup that just kind of runs through all
Oh
those
yeah,
images. My mind is just kind of racing right now.
yeah, exactly. That is also a good idea. What I also want to test that with PDG, we can almost make a one-click setup, for example, for generate a concept with different versions and yeah, also generate the mesh. So yeah, with PDG, we can make it even more efficient.
Wow. Imre, so I think we are kind of getting to our end of our first component of the interview. Do you have a Patreon? Do you have somewhere you would like people to share it with people, or a YouTube channel of yours? How people can follow you?
Yeah, I think easiest way is to I don't have Patreon. I have this I have my website. It's called teamrefx.com, and here I have my LinkedIn account and also my YouTube channel. And yeah, here I was uploading my latest um, experiments with ComfyUI, and yeah, here feel free to join or check this website also.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing all of that, Imre. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Thank you.
Oh, we got someone in the chat saying, thank you for showing this off. I meant this type of setup this week, but you did
Mhm.
it. This inspires him to set this so he can also dive into it.
Mhm. Thank
Fun,
you.
mate. The video is gonna be on my YouTube in a few days.
Mhm.
And also Imre is always in our chat. So on our Discord, you're more than welcome to hit him up there and go from there.
Mhm.
Exciting. Guys, so Imre, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. Like, I'm very, very happy to see someone dedicating so much time in
Mhm.
making those two tools talk with each other. So I'm very appreciative of that. And also for you also exploring when you kind of find those bugs and you report the bug and you try to fix it. So that is invaluable for us. So thank you so much. I super
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you for your tour.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
It's ours at this point because
Ah,
it's
yeah.
open source. Yay!
Ah, yes.
Fun. I want to check with the chat, see if they have any issues they might need some solving. Like sometimes people join us to ask about some help with
Mhm.
the plugin. So I just want to check if with Alan or Maitland if they have anything they would like to talk about, or they're just here to enjoy the show.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, so Alan has a question. We have two installed zip files, correct, Alan? So oh, okay. So that's a big one. So basically, if you clone the repo, it's a little bit different. I recommend you maybe going to our release tab. So let me show you that. So let me just share my screen. I'm gonna move you to my side here, and now I should be able to have Houdini and taking a look here. Because when you download the repo, you get a lot. Uh, but if you go to the release tab, then you get the packaged version that we're doing that is very neat for you to run. So let me show that on Explorer, not Explorer, show me that on GitHub. So let me also make sure I'm seeing. Oh, you see that, you found it, perfect. So here on our release area. So that is when you get the two folders. One folder into your Houdini documents, and the other folder goes in your custom notes. Awesome. Glad we could help. Cool. All right. So that's a very good feedback. Maybe I need to kind of rethink the instructions a little bit so it makes it more seamless. You're not the first one that uh, told me that you ran into this trap of like downloading the Git and then they get into work. You said you're working on an update for Trellis 2 and it's in beta. Do you think I should wait on that before getting that set up? I think you can just jump into it. So basically, let me share. Let me maybe I don't think you guys are looking at my screen. But here on our Discord, let's go take a look here on our screen.
Yeah, but I had to tweak the code, so I'm not using this beta version. But yeah,
Yeah. But the mesh generation worked without any updates, right? It's
ah
just the
yes,
mesh refiner.
yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. So that's very important, mate. So basically, from his setup, basically just grabbing the path out of the system, it's no biggie. The mesh refiner that we kind of found had a We fix on it. But if you go into support and issues, that's why we're tracking this fix. And Anatoly yesterday gave us an update, like a custom version of the code to beta test. So Imre is going to take a look at that later. If you feel like you can definitely adventure yourself here, I would just say do that with with a grain of salt, just because it is involved. So, but that's the solution. We already have a branch with a fix that you can take a look and see if you can get it working. But that's just for the mesh refiner step. It's not for the mesh generation.
Mhm.
Oh, he's pretty comfortable with the mesh refining tools in Houdini.
Yeah. Then it will be easier. It might be.
May is also asking if you created the textures after the refining.
Yes.
Yeah, if you grab if you don't need to go, it's just a mesh refiner, just a mesh refiner. That's on the beta version that we have for the next version.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made it a little bit confusing. My apologies.
When I try to use the base mesh, the texture part also works with the base mesh. But when I try to rig the base mesh, then it didn't work. So that's why I need to uh, run this refiner part.
Okay, makes sense. I wonder why. I wonder what is broken on that mesh.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of overlapping faces, vertices, and yeah, so it's really a mess. And I think it's there is also double edges, so it's we have to work on.
The mesh refiner has a real impact.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Fun. Guys, and the mesh refiner is not part of the Trellis, right? It's part of a different node pack. Is that what you guys are saying?
Mhm. I don't know. I haven't checked it. Where is it coming from?
Okay. No, it should be from the same package then.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Guys, all right, we have someone from the chat. Oh, we're live. Just click on the event link. Do we have anyone who needs some support today? All right. I'm gonna move into something that I want to try, okay? Basically, I took some pictures of, so last week we discussed like Gaussian splatting with Apple Sharp. And what I want to try today is that I have to, I think like many of you guys, I have like a bunch of cool art books. And I'm thinking about how I could like experience those art books in a different way. So what I would like to try for this next moment of the live is I took some pictures of some of the books that I have, and I want to do some Gaussians of that and see, and maybe navigate inside of those art pieces, just to get a sense of like how they look, and if that's something interesting, because it could become like a different show that we can host of like diving inside of art books. That would be interesting, and I have like this idea. So if you guys want to stick in, no, stick in. If you guys want to stick around, you guys are more than welcome. Um, I'm gonna be very happy that you all are gonna be here. Guys, I'm also gonna do like make sure if you guys on YouTube, like leave us some comments. We can check it out. We can kind of have some answers for next week. I'm also going to do a shameless plug here. We are running our Ko-Fi now. So if you enjoy our support, if you enjoy our free resources, go to our GitHub or on our Discord. You're going to be able to find our Ko-Fi page, and you're more than welcome to support us with a membership or with a donation. So that will help us a lot. So let me show you guys. One of the things that we enabled on the membership is just getting access to some of the files that we generate. So I'm just going to share my screen and show like one of the files that we brought in last week. And it's also a file that I'm going to be using to get started from today. Um, ah, another piece of information, sorry. We also have a new version out that brought this button here, real-time cook. But basically what this new feature does is that it detects when you change something in Houdini and it resubmits your system to ComfyUI again. So you can have somewhat, if I was very, how can I say, it should, in the ideal world, this would be like a real-time interaction between the two softwares. But there is some lagging between the two, and also depends on your system, right? But the trigger works. Whatever you do, Houdini automatically triggers ComfyUI. It's just the fact that it's not real time. So we're thinking about adjusting the name of the feature, but that's the new button. Real-time feature, real-time cook, or continuous cook. We're kind of debating on that, but that's the name of the feature, continuous cook. So it's still early. We haven't tested much. It just works. So I'm curious to see what the community is going to create for us. And one of and this is the file that we made available last week from the folks that are on the membership. It just goes over some of the remove background or merge it to estimation. And then that's the Apple Sharp model. So I'm gonna try to run that. So let me show some of the pictures that I brought in today. So we have I have a couple of different books. So maybe let me just stop sharing so I can share the books with you guys first. And that is gonna make a little bit more sense. So, I'm pretty sure you all have art books. So we have someone commenting, sorry if this addresses, but can you run Comfy as a Comfy backend? That's a good question. So our current recommendation is grid markets for that solution. Basically, gridmarkets.ai allows you to have a version of Unreal or a version of Comfy running on the cloud. You can submit the models. You already have our plugin there. So that's our recommendation. For Run Comfy, it should work. The only thing that you need there are two things you want to be mindful when running our plugin with a third-party website. The first thing is that we are targeting an address. So let me just share my screen with you guys. So I'm running an address here, right? So if run config gives you an address, or even if it masks, you can always press F11 to spec the code of the page, and you're probably going to find the address. So as long as you have an address there, you can target. So if run config gives you like a path for that virtual machine, you can target it. And then you would have to install our custom node, right? So that's the second part. First part is the service needs to provide a config address. And the second part is you got to upload our custom node on the ComfyUI side. So these are two things. And the third thing is that even if the service tries to hide the URL on your page, you can always inspect element of the website and you can kind of just go over it. Cool. API key. No, that's a good question. I have a test run Comfy. And maybe I tested a while ago. I don't think you would need an API key, but again, my recommendation is grid markets. Guys, all right, so let me show you guys the book. So I brought pictures of 3 different books. The first one is this one, anime landscapes. Basically, it's called Anime Architecture, and it goes over some anime movies of the 80s and 90s, and even early 2000s, and it has breakdowns of the environments. I don't know if it's going to actually be, it's not going to recognize my face, but that's the book. Some landscapes out of that. I also have this other one here called The Art of Star Wars Episode 1. So, and then the third one is like one of my favorite concept artists, John Harris. I don't know if you guys know this guy, but like John Harris has some killer concept art. And I brought you guys some pictures so we can try to generate some Gaussians for that. So you guys are more than welcome to comment or just kind of open your mic and interact if you feel like. Let me also bring the chat here. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, awesome. So let's take like these are some of the pictures, some art books. So let me just rotate this guy out. Some environments. Let's see what else we have here. I have the page of the book, the makeover, this alley, some vistas. So, and I also got this robot here. So I think I want to export this robot first. So I'm just going to do some dirty editing here so we can crop this guy out. Ideally, we should, take a better picture, maybe adjust the, save as a copy. So it's very flat. I just saved it as a quick and dirty job. Let's see, edited version, editing pics. So robot. So let's just give it a go here. So save this file here under our discussion for today. Give me one hot second. So that's my hard drive. That's my master research. And that's our today live. February 1st. Okay, so we go here. I'm going to save over that, accept. Fun. So let's just read that image here. And if my machine crashes, I'm so sorry. I'm running that on everything on my laptop today. So I'm just stress testing. Stress testing this guy. So let's place it here. That's the first image that we have. This image is absolutely huge, I believe, like almost 3K. So I'm just gonna do like a resample version of it. So we don't have to wait forever for this guy to crunch. Let's do like a quarter of the original resolution. And then just kind of also save here. Get a ROP. Get this ROP there. And let's just also save comp version and just kind of save robot. EXR, no, you gotta be a JPEG. Right into disk, so we now should have the image. Maybe I'm curious what would be the result without removing the background. So let's try that first. So let me grab the output of this guy and paste it here. And then that's our compound graph. I do have ComfyUI running here. So we have the sharp model running, and that's our focal length. I'm not gonna change anything here. We're just gonna go and give it a try. All right, is it all right? Don't know. All right, let's hit compute and cross the fingers, see if it's gonna work. So the job is running on ComfyUI, fun. We can keep a track on what's going on here, looking at the logs. Imre, do you have any experience with Gaussian splats or anyone here on the chat?
That would be my next topic after I finished with this 3D generation part, because yeah, I was thinking to generate some bigger environment, and it can be a very good base of it. But I just tried the basic Gaussian splat setup from ComfyUI.
Yeah, which one do you think is you're calling as the base one?
What we can find in the, I think it was in the templates.
Oh, let's look at that. So browse templates, maybe just type Gaussian.
I think I found it there, but no. Okay, but it was. Oh, I've seen it in your scene. One of your setup what was opened in your computer also.
Ah, is the sharp model. Okay,
Ah, yeah, yes, that one.
fun. All right, so that's our image. We can now go over there. And I think that's too heavy, so let's just disable this splat there, disable this other splat that we don't need. And hopefully our computer is not gonna crash. So let's just paste it over there. Okay, so that's the splat we generated, and let's just take a look how that looks like. Ooh. All right, so I think we need to rotate the image. Boom. All right, okay, that's the right angle. Okay. Oh, it's very flat. I was hoping we would get some depth out of this.
Mm.
So let's maybe try something different because it ended up being very, very flat. What else we can do here? We could do a point cloud surface out of this guy. Let's see how that's going to cook. Oh, not very helpful. So no biggie. We can see some of that detail here.
Mm.
But let's try something different then. Let's just maybe change the focal length maybe to 55 and see if this is going to give us like any other different values. For now, let me also cache manager and clear my cache here. Let's generate a new one, which is going to override the current one. And maybe we can pick another image and try again. All right, so we got a new splat. Let's check it out. Let's reload this guy. All right, with a different. Okay, so it's, yeah, also not very ideal. Okay, I thought we're gonna run into something. Okay, but there's a lot of detail here. Okay, this is more promising, but I wonder what we could do different to actually get more. So maybe it's just a very flat image, right? Maybe I would have to clean up the background to maybe work on it. So let's just give it one more try on this guy. I'm gonna do half the resolution, so the image is not so small. And I think I'd also run this guy here on a remove background version of it. Oh, oh, oh. I have a remove background here. Let's just let this guy cook. Let's see our results. Okay. So we got somewhat of a clean version of that remove background image. And let's see what we get from this version. A lot of these models, they do require some vanishing point. So I'm wondering how this is going to behave. And I'm going to go back and do maybe even like an 18 value on that focal length and just kind of hit compute on this guy and see what we get. Imre, do you want to maybe pick the next image to take a look?
Oh.
So these are some of the images that I brought.
I tried some environment. Yeah, for example, this one, we can see that if the model understands the depth of the picture.
Let's try this one then. All right, so we got a bigger image. I can definitely see that my system's already having second thoughts of what I'm doing with it.
Hmm. Sweating.
Yeah, let's wait for it and cross fingers. Yeah, I also got this very cool
Hmm.
environment. take a look on Comfy. All right, we encoded, we're running it. And we're definitely getting a hit because we doubled the resolution of the image right now.
Mm.
Fun. Oh, we're decoding it, 18 seconds of generation. There we go. Let's take a look at
Right.
our generated splat. And that's okay. We definitely got a lot more surface area.
Mhm.
So let's reload this guy. And now let's take a look at our splat.
It's better.
Okay, much better. A lot more detail here. I wonder if we could do just a color lookup to kind of get rid of those very dark pixels. Let's try that. Do you have a CD color on them? Oh, we do have CD.
Mhm.
Fun. So let's just go in and maybe group some stuff or group expression. See if we can get this working on our points, and it's cd.r. Let's just take a look at the color. So we would have to do, okay, we have a few values close to 0.888. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this cleanup right now, but it was good to see that we actually got something. Oh, my scene
Oh,
crashed. Yeah, that's the memory thing. I must say that Cops is very hungry, and that's why I've always enjoyed when I have my second machine running. So I can actually just kind of have Houdini on the end and ComfyUI on the other end, and then just kind of not have to worry about too much between the two machines, the two setups asking for memory. Fun. And also got, so we're gonna try one more splat for today, just to kind of see, get an environment here. So I'm gonna go and get our file. Yeah, I'm also streaming on the same machine, so it's a lot to ask out of this laptop. But I'm looking into getting a new graphics card and eventually, because I do have a cool machine right next to me, but I do need to set up the two computer streaming workflow. That's not there yet. Okay, so let's try an environment. You mentioned this other one here. This one here, right? So let's crop this guy and try one more time. This
Oh,
one here.
it is a bit blurry, so you can see how he understands, how the model understands the
Absolutely. And I do have
picture.
another image of an environment that is a bit clear.
Mhm.
So let's just take a look. So for example, what else we have here? I have the city, right? I have this
Right.
city here. Let's just
Mhm.
rotate this guy twice. Somewhat of a curved image. I think we can
Mhm.
definitely try this one here as well. Save as a copy as, oh, and what else we have here? Yeah, I 100% want to try this guy. That subway image looks kind of clean. All right, let's take a look on that. So save. Oh, I'm just not saving on the right folder. Silly me. Okay, let me grab this, Control X and Control
Yeah,
V.
I have a question that what is the difference if we just convert the point into VTP or converting with this point surface tool? Are there any
Look,
difference or?
unfortunately, I just getting started with this point cloud surface in Houdini.
Mhm.
So I I don't know how it differentiates based on that.
Mhm.
Um, but I would think that you could probably achieve a pretty similar result by running a p-scale on them and then
Yeah.
doing the VDB from points.
Okay.
I wouldn't shy away from it.
Mhm.
This image here that you mentioned, right, mate? I think that's kind of the one you kind of probably thought about. Let's grab this here and this there. I hope that's the image you mentioned. It's two. It doesn't have any weird lighting, I agree. Cool. So let's give it one more try. Oh, I'm also kind of release these two files here. So we are back in business. So let's read one of the images. Let's grab them on the folder. Okay, let's try this one here. I think it's going to be fun. Let's just kind of drag and drop. So it is also a fairly big image. So let's just resample this guy. Let's do a quarter and see what we get here. Okay, fairly sensible size. And for this guy, we're gonna do and 2.jpg. So let's give it a try. All right, let's hit compute and see how that goes. Imre, how long you've been working on VFX? You mentioned like 5, 6 years or even more, right?
Uh, from 16 years. I mean, I started in a smaller company here in Budapest, and it was actually, yeah, there was a very first movie what I worked on is the Titanic series. It was 2009 or 10, I don't really remember. And after, mostly I worked on advertisements and, for example, augmented reality shows in a smaller company. And after I had opportunity to jump to MPC in Montreal. It was 2014, and in 16 I moved to New Zealand, in Wellington, to work at Weta Digital.
Wow, what a journey, eh? From
Uh,
Budapest to you came to Canada, it looks like, right? You came all the way
yeah, yeah.
here.
Actually, I've been in Toronto also, and I like that city very much. So yeah, I've worked in Montreal.
All right. All right. So that's our new. Oh,
Uh,
we got
huh?
something.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, if only we could be looking at the right angle.
Hmm.
All right. So let's rotate this guy, right? Because that's very interesting. These models, they still kind of need to. We don't have like a standard on like how they output data. So let's just kind of rotate them. 90 degrees here or 80 degrees. Oh, that did work much better. That's such a good
Hmm.
recommendation. Thank you, mate. Let me bring the chat once again because I already lost the chat here. Wait, I lost the chat. Okay, I got the chat. Cool. Yeah, very good that we got this one working.
Much better.
All right. We can get some parallax going on here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm still kind of getting. I need to watch like a few courses or a few resources about Gaussian splats to understand what I could actually be doing with these. But the fact that we have this as here also means that we can clean up the mesh. Um, and have some more fun. Imagine having a way that we can just kind of walk, or have a game that we can just walk here.
Yeah, it might be to be solved in a few years.
Absolutely. So let's maybe try risking ourselves here to generate a mesh. It has like very long, so let me save and let's see how much memory. Okay, I'm peeking there, so I think I'm just gonna stay with the splat. Let me try another image now. So I'm gonna do the mesh generation some other time. All right, so let's try this other Star Wars version here and see how that's gonna go. So that's also a huge image. Socorro gives us 900 by 500. So let's try SW for Star Wars. Running this guy to disk. Grab it. So I'm going to place it here. And I'm also going to run this time. Let me just also give it a suffix, SW, just so we don't overwrite the image that we just generated. We are running with, 30 focal length. From the shot, I think we can just kind of leave it there and see how it goes. Compute. And that's the idea, right? Imagine if we could have something for us to maybe go around and explore this concept art in a different way, right? In an interactive experience way. That would be so fun. Oh, Mate was mentioning that we do have a MLOps video. Shout out to the MLOps guys. About Gaussians. So
I will check it.
all right, so we are running the workflow. Let's wait for this guy to cook. Dun, 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 dun. Imre, something else you may want to explore. I also had issues installing, but I'm going to try to solve this week, which is high motion, which is Hunyuan motion generation with prompts. Have you heard about that?
No, not yet.
So let me, maybe I can jump in here, just search it for high motion. So that's something I'm also going to try to get installed, but it's motion generation via prompting from Hunyuan as well, from Tencent. And you just got a prompt.
Wow.
And it's going to give you, it's going to decode from the latent a animation. So
Wow.
I'm very curious to see this working on the plugin. So that's something
Yeah,
I want to try as well.
it sounds very interesting. Actually, I tried Kairos a few months ago, and that was also very promising tool that we just prompt the movement up after it generated the animation. I don't know what is the latest release of it, but it was very promising.
Me too. I absolutely love what Kairos brought to the table. Cannot wait for
Yeah,
them to kind of push forward on the product.
yep.
Kairos.ai, if you guys don't know or want to search about it.
Yes.
All right, so we are waiting for this guy to cook. I'm glad I'm not doing high resolution images. We're making very tiny images, and you can see that it's already taking a fairly a fairly long time to cook those. But it's there. And I'll tell you more, guys. I'm running this laptop with only one fan running because the other fan is also busted.
Well,
So
so
yeah,
hopefully it will survive.
it will survive. It will survive, and yeah, soon enough we'll try to get new hardware. And that's kind of what we're doing the Ko-Fi. Our main goal with the Ko-Fi is just kind of have a machine that me and Anatoly can kind of have in the cloud and share that machine so we can easily install any models and just kind of keep the development running. Because there's so much more stuff we want to experiment with. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, you were mentioning that you went to Weta, you traveled a lot. Like that's a beautiful journey, Imre. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, hey, you're welcome. Yeah, and I'm back now when I started, so I'm in Budapest now again. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's wait for this boy to finish running. Uh yeah, if the chat has any ideas or any models we should be looking at or any resources, we're super open to that. We can always kind of take a look and install a couple custom new nodes, not today, but like for next week. Um, if you guys have something you'd like us to try, let us know and we can kind of work on it. And if you have more friends that you guys think that would like to join us, let them know. I'm also going to do another shameless plug 2.0 while we're waiting for this. If you guys haven't done so, jump on our YouTube channel and give it a subscribe. We are currently on the run for 500 subscribers. So we try to get the channel monetized. So there's a few things we need to do yet for that to happen. But I'm gonna drop on the chat here our YouTube channel. So if you haven't followed that yet, now is the time. So the earlier we get to those 500 subscribers, easier it's gonna be for us to get monetized and so much more. Even I don't know. I don't know if this machine is gonna come back from this generation.
It's still not crashed.
It is, and it's like well encoding time here,
Mhm.
so
Oh,
it's
no.
there. Oh, there
Ah,
was a
okay,
jump,
yes.
right? Something happened.
Mhm.
So we're gonna
Temperature
wait
is,
for
yeah, temperature is 85, so it's sweating, it works.
absolutely. Ta-dan, ta-dan. Yeah, what else? For next week, we are planning. So one thing that's as a kind of something we need to kind of keep looking. Um, that's my goal for after my goal. That's something I want to try to take a look after I finish a few other priorities that I have is all these Gaussian models, they output extrinsics and intrinsics of camera data. And we're looking into how can we grab that data and make it work with a camera in Houdini, right? So we were able to get something working last week, very manual work. So we're gonna look at how we can kind of make this automated somehow. Yeah, that's a good call, Maitland. Maybe I just should just kind of cancel and try one more time.
Mhm.
Kind of
Yeah,
afraid to touch the computer.
it happened also with Trellis because there is some issue where it generates the model with glitches, and then the computation also takes forever or much more longer than the default. So yeah, then we have to restart everything, and after that it will work. It might be something similar happened here.
I see. All right, you guys can see that my machine is already begging for forgiveness. Well, I try to stop the process. We're still running it. I'm also going to try to interrupt here. Oh my God.
The magic restart.
No, it was a good idea. It's just that
But yeah, it also helps sometimes for me also.
yeah, I'm just gonna queue ComfyUI by hand. Well, it was a good try.
Have you tried the new RTX models?
What do you mean, the new RTX models?
RTX, I think, the video generation models in ComfyUI. But I tried to
No,
find.
I haven't.
Yeah, me neither. But I just seen a lot of tutorials about it, and it was it was better than the previous ones.
Yeah, and they always open source their models and also make it available. So
Hmm.
it's a good effort for them. I cannot wait to kind of dive more into video models.
Hmm. Yeah, this is also a big topic to discover.
Oh, there's no Python running. Ah, I'm gonna kill Photoshop. No, Photoshop ComfyUI. Let's see. Yeah, the machine is responding a bit better. I'm gonna close Houdini as well for now. Yeah, do I have robot voice still?
No.
No? Okay. So my machine is gone. It's very slow, very chuggish. So that's probably our call to wrap up today's CGI Sunday. Let's see if I can stop sharing and if this is gonna help us somehow. Ish. Yeah. Oh, continue already. Oh, we're returning. We're returning. Just for the curiosity, let's see if we got something on the folder. All right, yeah, I'm back. Looks like my laptop is back as well. It's returning from it. So I'm just curious if I go all the way over my master research, ComfyUI, demo files, terminated exactly into my Gen 5. Oh no, we don't have any new Gaussians. We just have the wait. I'm looking at the wrong folder. February 1st. Full connection. CG Sundays. Yeah. No, we just have the first mesh that we generated. Well, that's okay. It's part of the process. It was good. I was happy that the first image worked. And I'm gonna think about what we can do that in terms of like a show for us to explore or revisit some other topics from these books. Imre, thank you so much for coming in today. Uh
Thank you. For,
yeah, go ahead, sorry.
yeah, thank you for the invitation. So yeah, thank you.
And thank you, Alan and Mate, for joining us today as well. Um, we are back next Sunday. We do have a guest to be confirmed, Joseph. He's doing a lot of different things with ComfyUI. He has his own version of optimization for ComfyUI. He showed me a while ago. He also is thinking about um, diffusion light, which is a way to generate HDRI images. So there's some conversation about that. So we're gonna confirm him, and then I'm gonna send out on the newsletter. So I hope are you all on our newsletter?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, so we
I
have
don't
someone
know.
asking for you to also keep up on the PG part.
Ah, yes, of course. If I have an update, then I let you know.
Awesome. And we also have the videos of the PDG, how to start working with PDG for
Mhm.
ComfyUI. So if you haven't checked it out, those videos are up and running. Cool. Let me just show you guys one last link. Oh, he's asking you to do the robot.
Actually, I uploaded the video this morning, so yeah, it works with the do the robot. Yeah, okay, you saw it.
Rafael Drilich. And let me see if I can get the link, guys, for the mail list. Dun, 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 dun. So I'm gonna paste in the chat as well. So if you guys haven't signed up, just sign up real quick right now, so you guys can get all our updates. Usually we're sending
Yes.
one email per week. Actually, our first email was sent this week, earlier today. But it's just to let you guys know about what is new updates or if we have new videos up. So make sure you sign up so we can actually reach out to you guys in a way you guys can actually know about our updates ahead of time.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much all for joining me and Imra and our CGI Sunday, and see you next Sunday.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Alan, Virtuous Total doesn't clear that link for newsletter. All right. I don't know what to do with that information. Maybe it's because my email is new, but I'll check on that and see how can I address that. All right. I'll give it a try. Bye. Thanks for the tip, Alan. I'll look into it. Thank you so much.